Welcome to the Kelly Sullivan Walden Show, where we explore nighttime dreams, daytime desires, and the best ways to transform the tragic into magic. Because let's face it, we all dream, we all have our blessings, and we all have our challenges, myself included. And I don't want any of us to take any of those things lying down, if you know what I mean. I just wrote a book entitled A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste. I'm excited to explore the topic with you, whether it relates to your waking or sleeping dreams, because we're dreaming all the time, people. So let's make it the best dream possible. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited about today's show. I have an amazing guest, Harriet Bratt, and we're going to start because we're both kind of in this excited energy. We want to keep the excitement, but we're going to ground it. So let me just invite everybody to turn within for a brief moment and let's take a breath. And let's just drop into that eternal, immortal, infinite place within ourselves where there is no time, where time is infinite and all of our needs are truly met. Let's just bring ourselves to that mountaintop place where there's that, I can see clearly now the rain has gone, even though right where I'm at, it is pouring rain. We know that behind those rain clouds, there is always a bright, beautiful sun. So let's just recognize that without denying any of the process. Let's just own that and drop into that eternal sunshine within ourselves. And with this, I am grateful and thankful. And I say, thy will be done. And so it is. Amen. A woman, our dreams are Harriet. Okay. Harriet Bratt. Let me tell everyone a little bit about this amazing woman. Harriet is a speaker, trainer, global bestseller, co-author, and Firewalk expert. She helps driven entrepreneurs, and she drives helpful entrepreneurs. Leaders and coaches step fully into their power and communicate their message confidently. And because our time is precious, I'm going to get right to it. She is basically a speaker's speaker. She helps people get their message out. And one of my dear friends, Marie Diamond, said, you must meet this woman. So if you want to find out more about her, you can go to her website. Is it harrietbratt.com?
It is indeed, Kelly.
Harriet,
Wonderful
HarrietBratt.com.
You
Okay.
got it.
So you and I were just talking about how to the whole notion of transforming the tragic into magic, and you have a particular way that you know how to do that. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely, of course. And I think I would like to first of all say thank you for being in this platform, but also thank you for that beautiful grounding exercise. Both of us were thinking of a million other things to do.
Behind the scenes.
Probably many of your listeners, many of your viewers will feel the same way. Sometimes life can get so busy, there's so much to do. And yet just in those simple moments of breath and even with that guidance, we can center ourselves and become back into that present moment. So I think that's really powerful just in itself. It's wonderful to be here with your community. And yes, my personal version of supporting someone to take themselves from tragic to magic is really going within, but becoming immensely aware of your self-talk. Yes. So that little voice, say hello, not out loud, but say hello. That voice. Yes, that voice is chattering away to us all day long. If you look at different research, depending where you search, it's between 70 to 80,000 thoughts per day. So first of all, I really believe that we need to bring that awareness to those thoughts. First of all, are you communicating with yourself in a way that kind of keeps you stuck? Because everyone's been through challenge, or to use that language, everyone's been through something tragic. And that will be so different for every single one of us. And Kelly, I mean, jeepers, you've got medals for how much you have been through and come out the other side. Your book is absolutely phenomenal. I really encourage anyone, if you haven't read it already, to absolutely go and get a copy. But what you also chose to do as you went through that is use your amazing ogle process. But you also, I would imagine, spoke to yourself in a way that supported you. You didn't stay stuck in replaying the story, the tragic, the issues, the challenge over and over. I can't do this. I'm not able to do that. I'm stuck because of this person did that to me, or blaming, you know. We really need to take that responsibility that, as Viktor Frankl says, we can't always control what happens to us, but we can always choose our response. So I think my biggest tip is really taking notice of how you're speaking to yourself, and start communicating as if it was your best friend. Speak to yourself in a healthy, encouraging, loving, and supportive way.
Oh, I love that. I've been thinking, I mean, you actually gave me a really incredible bit of advice right before my book came out. You and I met, and you were asking me, I was saying, well, I'm about to speak at some different places, and give me any tips that you have. And you asked me what story to share, and I said, well, this is the one that is the most heart-wrenching, my tendril story. And you said, well, tell me a little bit about it. And I did, and I kind of just rattled, and you were like, okay, wait a second, like, where's the heart in this? I can't remember exactly what you said, but I think I'm trying to say many things at once, but I think there are some of us, if we could divide the human race into two categories, and one, not men and women or all that fluidity, but one side of us, one part of humanity is so maybe very good at wearing their pain on their sleeve and being very vulnerable. And that's easy for them. And maybe the pitfall of that is playing too long in the victim's story, versus the other half that is like, okay, get over it, get over it, get over it. That didn't happen. I'm fine. I should just be grateful I'm alive. Don't sweat the small stuff. There's people going through way worse. Just move on. And then and then the downside of that is that we backlog a lot of the feelings that don't get processed. And there's a bit of a veneer over us that isn't relatable. And I fall into that category in the past before
Me
meeting
too.
Harriet. But I think there's a place in the happy middle where we can. So I feel like this is what I've been practicing since I've been talking about this book, allowing the vulnerability to show up when it does instead of shoving it away. I'm not trying to conjure it, but I feel like I've gotten feedback that they are responding to my sharing about this book, and I don't think they would have had I not met with you about this. So this isn't exactly addressing the voice in the head. This is more of kind of the way of it. But I think a half of the people have the voice in the head that says, just get over it. And the other half says, no, open up that wound once again and bleed all over everyone, because people run to our attention in that way. And so what is the voice that we should be listening to? Because we can't just not listen. We have to listen to something. We're going to listen to something. So what should we listen to?
Absolutely. So much there that I could kind of jump and dive into. But the first thing that comes through is creating a silent space for you to hear whatever that voice may be for you. God, universe, Allah, your dreams. So many ways we can receive answers from externally that come through internally. But we need to create that space to receive that guidance, to receive those thoughts, to receive sometimes poignant reflection on something that we've been through, but it offers an ulterior perspective. But in that sort of day to day, I think, it's really finding that beautiful balance in between. It's about speaking to it, but telling everybody and anybody, walking down the street and telling the neighbor, the person at the shop, that's you with love in your ego, just sharing for the sake of it. It's
Right.
how can
Right.
you support
Right.
yourself either by, first of all, sharing it in a safe space, sharing it, Kelly, with somebody like yourself, with somebody like myself, with mentors, coaches, a close friend that allows you the space. And this is really important. That's that balance about what you said. You know, it's not about putting a mask on, shoving it under the rug and going, I'm a warrior, I can do this. Right. I can also relate to that.
And my
But it's
name means warrior, by the way, in Celtic. So
about
I
probably
can.
why we connect so wonderfully.
Exactly. Exactly.
But it's how can you allow the feeling? Because no matter what our sort of beliefs are, we are experiencing human emotions, is the easiest way of putting it. In
Right.
this life, we're going to have the happiness, the sadness, the frustration, the grief, the doubt, the wonder, the excitement, and hopefully kind of create that calm baseline through the middle more and more.
Right.
But it's important to allow those emotions. As you said, it's not about repressing them. When we repress, we hold on, anger comes out, we lash out in different ways that we don't really mean to. So it's not repressing, it's being able to release it, but in an environment that will allow you to feel what you feel. But then, as you would do, look at the situation, understand the offending behavior, go into that reflection space. You know, I'm starting to use this amazing process that I read this book on, right?
You've
It's
become an
about then
ogler.
using
A good
exactly,
ogler.
but it's about using processes like that to look at what
Yeah.
happened, to be in what happened, to allow the feelings of what happened, but also what do I choose to do moving forwards. And then, of
Right.
course, last but not least, being able to, if you choose to, take that message like yourself and go and speak to it with clarity. And maybe sometimes that means that emotions still come up. There's a lot of speaker trainers out there that say, no, you should never share a story that you still get emotional about. Share from your wound, not from the scar. And to a degree, I
Ooh.
agree with that. I don't think it's a space for you to break down and have, you know, tear after tear after tear and almost go into your own coaching session. However,
Right. Right.
I also feel that emotion is natural, like we were just saying a moment ago. So if a tear comes down your face when you're expressing something like losing a child,
Yeah.
that emotion is real. That's raw. Let it be.
Mm-hmm.
Let it out, and let the listeners, the viewers, the individuals in that audience that perhaps have lost loved ones too, see that, oh my goodness, it's okay. I can process this emotion. But the beauty of your experience as a speaker is I can be in the emotion. I can express exactly how I felt. It was a hard, tragic time. But when I come out of that, I can shift back into confident Kelly that I am today, standing in my magic as a result of that tragic experience that I went through.
Mm, thank you. It feels like there's something, I mean, at the core of what I'm hearing, and I don't know if this is exactly what you're saying, but it's there's something about trusting, like in order to do this, there's got to be some baseline trust in the universe. I mean, honestly, this is kind of a behind the scenes thing, but I've been attending NAMI meetings. I don't know if you know what that is, but I've got
I
a
don't.
there's somebody very close to me that I think has mental illness, and NAMI is the National Association for Mental Illness, and they offer so many classes and workshops to understand how the mind works. And we just
Amazing.
did this exercise. I just have to tell you this because this was mind blowing, and I actually thought of you. Um, so I'm there to understand my loved one who has problems. But they gave us this exercise where they had half the group go into one Zoom room and the other in one. In my Zoom room, our assignment was to have a blank sheet of paper and a pen. And we were told, you're going to have somebody's going to give you some instructions, and they're simple instructions, and just do what they say. So when they said ready go, the other group came into the Zoom room talking, saying, you can't do this, you're stupid, don't trust them, you can't, don't, they're lying to you, blah. So it was so hard to hear the very simple instructions that were saying, draw a smiley face on the page, Now draw a little star in the upper right corner. Now make a little square in the low. And I literally burst into tears because I thought, oh my God, this is what my this person in my life is going through. This barrage of voices. And this is how it is for all of us to some degree. You don't have to be schizophrenic or have a mental illness to have this barrage of voices. And how do you know which one to listen to? And I'm just grateful. I mean, it was humbling to hear what so many people are dealing with, but I thought it made me all the more ferocious about my own mourning process, meditation, journaling, writing down my dreams so that I can quiet what's in my head, so that I can hear kind of the voice of the divine. And without doing that, if I didn't safeguard that, then I would be just as lost as anybody. So what do you do? What do you have a morning practice that is like your way? Thank you. Your way of getting to that blank slate so that you can hear and you can choose what voice you listen to.
Absolutely. And before, if it's okay, but
Yeah,
I'm going anyway,
of
I just want to
course.
touch on what you just shared. And I think, I want to send love and energy to you and to your beautiful friend, family member. And I think these spaces, you sharing that is just so important to remind people that there are groups, communities, places that you can go and speak. And actually, it's strength, it's powerful. I think hopefully we're kind of coming past, we're not quite there yet, but coming past seeing reaching out as a weakness. So please,
Right.
anyone, reach out, speak out. And also, that was such an amazing exercise and something that I would like to
Yeah.
utilize. So please tell me exactly where it was from so I can make sure I credit the right space. And
NAMI, NAMI, National Association for Mental Illness. It's yeah,
yeah,
and I can yeah, I don't know, I don't have anything to send you, but it's through them, their family to family course.
amazing. Well, I will certainly honor them and do that exercise. And it's really powerful. And I hope, as another layer on that for anyone watching or listening, reach out, especially when you're feeling good, right? We have those ups and downs. Maybe you're having a down day where you need support, you need help, you need to do the things that we've been mentioning: meditation, journaling, visualization, having a bath, reading your favorite book, whatever it might be, but things to nurture your soul. But on the other side of that, as Kelly's doing with her friend, reach out and support people. Speak words of affirmation to them. Tell them not just that you love them, but why you love them, why they're amazing, why they're beautiful. Feed the positivity, because as Kelly's just shared, so many people have several voices, but everybody has at least one voice that's going in
Right.
their mind.
Right.
And it actually takes, I think research demonstrated that it takes 17 positive comments to erase or at least diminish one negative.
Oh wow.
We hold on if we hear, even if it's us telling
Interesting.
ourselves, but especially if someone else tells us a negative comment, it can take up to 17 times, if not more, to actually, for us to not only go, thank you, this isn't true, but actually I believe this truth about myself now. So reach
Ooh.
out and speak those words of affirmation. And on that note, I think for me, that is one of my biggest power sources of stillness, of calmness, and of listening. First of all, meditation, to allow a much bigger voice to come through and give me guidance. But
Right.
then second of all, my incantations. And I really want to point out that it's not about saying, I am a strong, confident, and powerful woman, or I am a beautiful, loving, amazing, happy millionaire. It's about using an incantation which reflects where you are and where you're going. If you say, I am a strong, confident, powerful woman, but inside it's like, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
there yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay too. But it's the feeling and the thought that makes an incantation powerful. So
Ooh.
what I had to learn for myself was, how can I speak in a way that allows me to see what is now, bring loving acceptance for what is now,
Mm.
whilst I progress and grow, financially, just saying, I'm going to be a millionaire. You maybe, and that's amazing. But if you're nowhere close to that, and when you say it, your body goes and recoils, it doesn't feel good. So you're putting in the opposite message out to the universe, and you're actually laying more doubt in yourself. But what about saying, I am getting better with my money. I am becoming wealthier. I am improving with my finances, right? And maybe that end vision is still the happy millionaire. I'm using a financial example here because it's the most generic and easy for everyone. But it's the same in any area. I am becoming more confident. Step by step, day by day, I'm building my confidence. I'm starting to see my worth. There's so much out there right now about self-love. But if you're someone that really doesn't feel that right now, saying, I love you, I love you, I love you in the mirror isn't going to help. But saying, oh, Harriet, I just noticed your eyes. Actually, you've really got beautiful eyes. I love your eyes. Or I like you. I like how you do this. I'm falling in love with you. And then maybe, hopefully one day in time, that becomes, Harriet, I truly love you. So that's my biggest thing. And hopefully I shared it in a way that your listeners can also use it to their advantage as well.
It's so grounded and practical, and you've just given us nuggets of gold. I want to just share one little thing that I've recently started to do when I notice like a really negative voice, like basically saying some version of, you're not enough, you don't know enough, you don't do enough, you haven't blah, blah, blah enough. And one thing I've started doing that's been interesting is I've been saying back to that voice, you love me. Like, oh, this is your love language. Like, you really love me. And this is how you're trying to communicate love to me, to get me to do more, to be more, because you think I'm great. Oh my God. So it's like as if to say to the bully, and I've had some bullies in my life, to know, it's like to know that the subscript underneath it is, this person loves you. I mean, all the hero's journey work that I've done, it's always the same, that the enemy is the ally in disguise. They are trying to prompt you. They're the sand in the oyster, trying to get you to wake up, to be better. So there doesn't even have to be a fight, like a shut up, be quiet, don't you know who I am? I'm just not gonna listen, blah. When it's just love, it's like, let me receive the love. And then it seems to calm everything down. Like, yes, of course I love you. I don't want you to run out in the street and get hit by a car. That's why I'm speaking to you like this, because it feels life and death, but I love you. I love you. That's all the subtitles underneath the movie screen are ever saying. No matter what is being said, underneath it is, I love you. And Harriet, I know you've got something important that you've got to fly off to, but I just want to thank you and know that my subtext and my regular text to you is, I love you. And I appreciate the contribution that you are. And I've only known you a short while in this lifetime, and you've just been such a generous and beautiful friend. And I really appreciate you so profoundly. Thank you for contributing to me and to my community today. And go get him, girlfriend. Any last words of wisdom before I send you off?
Gosh, there's not enough time. No, Kelly, we have a saying, an expression that we speak to, and it's something that we absolutely resonated and connected in, and it's lead with love. Lead with love for yourself, lead with love for your community, your family, with friends, and lead with love for the universe. So I receive your love. I'm so, so grateful for you. I'm so grateful to be in this space with you and your beautiful, amazing community. Hello. And I send nothing but love, gratitude, and appreciation back to you. Thank you so much, Kelly.
HarrietBratt.com is her website. Go check out all of the offerings. Is there one particular thing that they should find?
I would say, if you want to improve your confidence and your communication, public speaker skills is our world-class speaker circle. If you want just a a support or an insight into shifting from, as Kelly says, tragic to magic or warrior to warrior, then have a look at the Now We Are Free visualization. But it's all on harrietbratt.com.
Thank you, Harriet Bratt. Go get them, girlfriend. Thank you. To be continued. Mwah.
Thank
Sweet
you,
dreams.
Kelly.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Kelly Sullivan Walden Show. If you enjoyed this episode, take a moment to like, subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends. My show can be found on Apple iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to order my new book, A Crisis is a Terrible Thing to Waste, go to your favorite online or brick and mortar retailer, then head on over to kellysullivanwalden.com tragic2magic. Input your order number and redeem your bonus gifts. I'm also excited to be offering a DreamWork practitioner training. So if that calls to you, go to kellysullivanwalden.com/DreamWork. If you'd like to join me for the live recording of these shows, most Wednesdays at noon Pacific, you can find me on Facebook at Kelly Sullivan Walden Dreams. If you have a question about your dreams or about how to transform your tragic into magic, email me at kelly@kellysullivanwalden.com. Until next time, remember, a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. And as you awaken to the power of your dreams, you make the world a lighter, brighter, more beautiful place, one dream at a time. Sweet dreams.